A potential 3-down workhorse back in the middle of the 4th round of your fantasy football draft? It's unheard of. Welcome to the Prophet Podcast, everything NFL and fantasy football related all season long, with your host, Calvin Wright. I'm going to be honest with you, I made a mistake last year about David Montgomery. I actually had him ranked a little bit above Josh Jacobs, the runner-up for the Rookie of the Year award. David Montgomery, long story short, it did not work out fantasy-wise last year. He was pretty much the definition of average when it comes to running backs. But that being said, the key word there is average. David Montgomery was not bad. He was average. And we're talking about a potential 3-down workhorse back falling to you in the middle of the 4th, maybe 5th round this year. I don't care if he's average. I don't care if he's bad. A 3-down potential workhorse back that late in a draft, that is unheard of. David Montgomery is still the same player he was 1 year ago when every analyst loved him, loved the talent, loved how he makes defenders miss. I think he was ranked 3rd in college football for most forced missed tackles in his career, right behind Dalvin Cook and Kareem Hunt. David Montgomery is still a player who can run routes and catch really, really well. He only had 1 drop last season. David Montgomery is still a very, very talented football player. So why does everyone hate on him? Why is everyone letting him fall to the 4th round? Because last year it wasn't great, and our expectations for him were extraordinarily high. If last year we had been valuing David Montgomery as what he truly was and ignored the hype, a 3rd-round pick without breakaway speed, who's pretty good in between the tackles and is going to be in a timeshare with Tarik Owen, we would have been very pleased and unsurprised with his performance. But instead, we hyped him up, me included, into being the next Alvin Kamara, next Kareem Hunt, next big superstar, and that wasn't very realistic. I don't think David Montgomery is ever going to be that huge superstar. He just doesn't possess the speed, and his system he's in, let's face it, the Bears, they aren't going to be great, at least with Mitch Trubisky at the helm. However, that being said, David Montgomery was still average, behind one of the worst offensive lines with a pretty putrid quarterback under center in a timeshare with Tarik Cohen. David Montgomery was still average. And performing average in that situation is above average, I'd say. I mean, his true yards per carry or yards per touch, whatever, 3.5. That's not good. But go back and watch David Montgomery's plays. In the past week, I have watched almost every single David Montgomery run. In other words, I am broken. But they're pretty impressive 3-yard runs. And as sarcastic as that sounds, saying they're impressive 3-yard runs or 2-yard runs, go back and watch them, and you're going to be shocked because he had to break about 2 tackles to get back to the line, and then he got 3 yards. The offensive line was horrible. It's hard to explain how horrible this situation was. But I think it will be better. It can't really get worse. They have a new offensive line coach. GM said that they want to lean on Montgomery. They think he can handle a larger workload. Already last year, in a timeshare, only on the field 57.9% of the plays, he had 242 carries, which is 13th in the league. He has the potential, and I expect him to be at 300 carries this season. Let's face it, Tarik Cohen, he's moving into a role as a slot wide receiver. Yeah, he'll get some handoffs, but even last year, Tarik Cohen, he was more of a wide receiver than a running back. 64 carries and 104 targets. Now, yes, Tarik Cohen, as long as he is there, will be a thorn in the side of David Montgomery owners. But I think it is possible we see a world where both David Montgomery and Tarik Cohen perform well fantasy-wise in different roles, and I think it's going to happen this year. Go and watch David Montgomery run before you say he's bad or before you say every analyst was wrong. There is a reason why every analyst loved him. He is still that player that everyone loved. The situation, it's a little bit better. And if you can get a player who can be a 3-down workhorse back, catching balls, running it in on goal line carries, no competition for goal line carries, you're getting him in the 4th, 5th round, you will not beat that value. David Montgomery is a must draft in every format. I will keep pushing this until, week 1 of the season. David Montgomery, at this value in the 4th round, you cannot beat it.